Question. If you don't belong to a political tribe, why are you expected to show up and participate in their gang fight? Because that's what the primaries are. They're a gang loyalty test wrapped in yard signs. Here in HD-57 this primary season, both the Republican and Democrat candidate are running unopposed. That means that there's not really a primary here. That's not voter choice, it's Mad Libs with ballot access. And if you're one of my neighbors here in HD-57 and you're not already a member of a political gang, you can probably hear the primaries continually chant, "Shut up and hold my beer." Meanwhile, I'm over here running against NOTA, none of the above, because libertarians believe that no candidate is better than a bad candidate, which unfortunately is an idea that all of the other parties refuse to even consider. And don't discount the power of a NOTA vote, because admittedly it has some pretty strong ground game. After all, at least NOTA is honest about offering the voters absolutely nothing. Here's the bedtime lullaby that they sing. The primary is where the voters choose the best candidate. Civic duty, grassroots, democracy, freedom, fireworks, and bald eagles. That's cute. And here in HD-57, your tribal choice will be between, checks notes, no one. Red gang, already crowned. Blue gang, already crowned. No debates, no competition, no accountability. Just a rubber stamp and a press release congratulating themselves. But I've noticed something strange, and I'm hoping you're going to start to notice it too. In competitive districts all across the state, every political ad, whether it's in social media, broadcast media, or just giant yard signs strategically placed on street corners, every one of them sounds like this. I'm the most Republican Republican. No, I am, because I bleed redder than you. Or on the other side, I'm the purest Democrat. No, I pass the loyalty test harder. Check my ideological purity papers. And here's the part that they deliberately forget to tell you. In the primaries, you don't choose between parties, you choose from within the party. And if you vote in a primary, congrats, you just joined the gang, whether you wanted to or not. That's also not voter choice. That's just two rival gangs sharpening machetes while pretending it's a bake sale, with each claiming that they have better pastries. Meanwhile, the rest of us normal humans, the independents, moderates, non-voters, political refugees, are standing outside of the fight cage like, is there a third door? Nope, just the two gangs beating their chests and screaming, "Choose a side or shut up!" Let me take a moment to localize this, but feel free to translate this to your own district. From Pilot Point to the Colony, from Crum to Justin, and from Little Elm through Lake Dallas and Corinth all the way out to Ponder, most folks are worried about things like property taxes that climb faster than the temperature of North Texas summers, roads that look and feel like they were shelled by artillery, schools that are caught up in a culture war crossfire, and, given the recent weather shenanigans as well as those predicted for this summer, whether the power grid is just going to tap out when it gets too spicy outside. Strange thing though, none of these voter concerns ever seem to show up in a primary ad. Why? Well, it's actually pretty simple, because primaries don't reward problem solvers, they reward obedient foot soldiers. And yet, the major parties both looked at HD-57 and said, yeah, nobody needs a choice here. Both gangs already own the fighting cage. No challengers, no risk, no reason to listen to the voters, even in their own party. The candidates might listen, but probably not. And while they may see it as confidence, I call it institutional arrogance. After all, we who are candidates are dealing with a public that's addicted to adversarial drama, and the primaries, with all of their tribal chest beating, is just an ideological spring break on meth. And here's the disturbing part, at least from my perspective. Even without competition, candidates sprint to the extremes like a purity Olympics, with louder slogans, harder hard lines, and quite frankly, dumber takes on the issues. And if you don't believe me, just look at the rhetoric they spew. They don't ask, does this help HD-57? Instead, they ask, will this get me past the gatekeepers? And if you're an independent, moderate, or just exhausted, you're not being ignored by accident. You've been priced out of the conversation. That's real voter suppression. Not laws, but apathy engineered by design. And then, miracle of miracles, after March, when the primaries happen here in Texas, old party candidates suddenly rediscover moderation via the old Texas two-step. I never said that, even though we have the receipts. That ad is being taken completely out of context. Oh, obviously, because pandering certainly doesn't reflect personal character or integrity. And my personal favorite, I've always been reasonable. Right, all evidence to the contrary. That's not leadership, that's fraud with a smile and a donor list. It's a con when everybody knows it, but everybody also pretends that they don't. Here's where I'm different, and yeah, I'm saying it out loud. Yes, I'm still running for the seat, but I'm not auditioning for a gang, so I don't need to perform ideological loyalty dances. And so while the red gang preaches obey harder and the blue gang pontificates comply politely, what they're both actually saying is fall in line, or else. And if you don't, if you're an independent, a moderate, politically homeless, or just tired, they treat you like you wandered into a biker bar wearing a both sides suck t-shirt, which, by the way, is still true. Libertarians don't run primaries like a Hunger Games sequel. We nominate our candidates by in-person conventions, no cage match, no donor hazing ritual. So instead of shouting at other party members, I talk to the neighbors. All year. The guy in Little Elm who just wants the county to leave him alone. The mom in Crossroads who's sick of politicians using schools as props. The small business owner in Prosper crushed between regulations and taxes. And the voter out in Ponder who hasn't voted in years because none of this feels honest. For me, it's the same message, same values, same spine. Decentralization, accountability, and a state government that needs to leave the people the hell alone. Radical idea, I know. I don't change who I am depending on the month. That alone puts me outside of the machine. I'm not running to win a party crown. I'm running to earn the trust of a district that's been taken for granted for far too long. Real liberty doesn't need permission from a primary. So when someone asks me, why are you campaigning during the primaries? Simple, because silence is how unopposed power gets comfortable, and comfort is where accountability goes to die. So yes, I'm campaigning even though I probably don't need to. I'm right here, talking to everyone, not just the loudest 10%. But if you're not far left or far right, the primaries don't ignore you by accident. That's how they're designed, to keep normal people out. Here's the inconvenient truth that HD-57 and indeed all of Texas deserves, but doesn't hear often enough. The Republican Party has gone full mask-off authoritarian. The Democratic Party offers similar control but with better PR. Neither one unites the people because unity doesn't come from gangs. Divide and conquer is their business model. What scares them isn't the other party, it's the people who won't wear their team's jersey. And when both major parties run unopposed candidates, the real opponent isn't the other party, it's voter resignation. So here's my question to you. If gangs don't speak for you, why do you keep letting them speak over you? If the system only works when you shut up and fall in line, who is it really working for? Drop a comment if you're done with the gang warfare and being taken for granted. And share this if you want real choices, not rubber stamps. Let's talk. No uniforms required. And if this video made any major party insiders nervous, good. That means you are being seen for who you really are, and not who you pretend to be.